Hi Mike, thank you so much for answering my question last week. It was fascinating to hear your response, thank you for that. So your question to me this week was, why is it that Christians, which I described as sacrificial and selfless, self-sacrificial that is, not just generally sacrificial, why is it that Christians dominate the right wing rather than the egalitarian left? So I think it's an interesting question. It's opened a whole can of worms. Um, I want to really say two things, and really they don't give a very good answer. I'm afraid. Sorry, it's a very difficult question, and I just don't know what to say. But I'm going to say two things. So, firstly, I'm going to say I'm not convinced that the right is dominated by Christians. My reasons for that is, firstly, I did some scouring around the internet as best as I could to try and find some statistics, and I found a website that was quoting voting for Conservatives was about 33%, whereas Christians voting for Labour was about 32%. So you can see there's very little difference there. What I did notice though is that Anglicanism, they generally voted Conservative. It was 46% Anglicans voted Conservative compared to 25% voting Labour. So as you can see, there is a mismatch there. But why that is, I just couldn't tell you. And why maybe other Christian denominations vote more favourably towards Labour, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's very, very close really. A third voting Conservative, a third voting Labour, and a third voting others. Now I understand that David and Nigel are both profess Christianity. I don't know what that means. I don't know whether that's just chance or whether that really reflects the voters that they draw in. So I'm not really sure about that. I also looked at my friends. I know a fair amount of Christians in Surrey, and I wouldn't be in a position to say that there are more Christians voting Conservative than there are Labour, though it is obviously complicated because demographics plays a large role in this sort of thing, and down in the south I know more Christians from the south, so undoubtedly I suspect I would know more Conservative Christians. So that was the first answer, so I'm just saying I'm not really sure whether it's true to say that more Christians are in the right wing. The second thing to question is whether the right wing is self-interested and the left wing is egalitarian, and therefore Christians should go to be the egalitarian and equal rights and all that sort of stuff. I'm not sure really. When I listened to all the political talk before the elections, I didn't go, you know what, Labour, they are definitely the most selfless and self-sacrificing party compared to the Conservatives or compared to any other particular political party. So I don't think that's really fair to say that one way or the other. I think there's so many issues involved that it is just too complicated to say one or the other, that the right wing is self-interest, left wing is egalitarian. So again, I don't know what to say, but I don't think it's that simple. So going back to the questions, why are Christians in the self-interested right wing? Well, I just don't know whether that's a true thing to say, those two assumptions. So I'm sorry about that. It doesn't sound like a very good answer, does it? But I kind of had to try and express what I was thinking there for you. So I hope that's okay. So my question for you now: what is the biggest misconception in humanism? And of course, explain why it's a misconception. I think that'd be really interesting. I look forward to hearing your response.